Gentlemen, let me ask you something. Straight and serious, how many mornings have you woken up, swung your legs over the side of the bed, and quietly thought to yourself, something feels off? Not just about energy for the day ahead, but about that private sign of strength you once took for granted? The truth is, for countless men over 50, that reliable spark of morning vitality has faded, and it often slips away so gradually that you hardly notice until it's gone. And when it's gone, it doesn't just affect your body, it gets inside your head, it chips at your confidence, it makes you feel older than you are, and it can even create distance between you and the people you love most. Now, here's the surprising part. The missing piece isn't always your age, and it isn't always low testosterone either. More often, the real culprit is circulation. How well your blood vessels deliver oxygen, nutrients, and energy where you need them most. When those vessels stiffen and slow down the first place, you notice the change is in your mornings. But the good news is circulation isn't a lost cause. In fact, it can be rebuilt, strengthened, and supported at any age. And the best part, the fix doesn't require expensive prescriptions or embarrassing procedures. The very tool you need might already be sitting in your kitchen right now. You use it almost every single day. It's that simple, familiar cup of coffee. But here's where it gets interesting. Coffee by itself can only take you so far. Caffeine gives you a quick burst, but it's like taping over a leaky pipe. It doesn't fix what's broken. What if that same cup of coffee could do more than just wake you up? What if it could become a natural way to restore circulation, support testosterone, and help you reclaim the confidence you thought you'd lost? That's exactly what I'm going to share with you today. Over the years, I've guided men in their 50s, 60s, even 70s who came to me with the same story. Doc, my mornings just aren't the same. And time after time, I've watched how a few simple upgrades to their morning coffee ingredients you can buy at any grocery store completely change their energy, their focus, and yes, their morning vitality. Stay with me because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to turn an ordinary habit into a powerful daily ritual that works with your body instead of against it. Let's get brutally honest. After 50, your blood vessels don't behave like they used to. Imagine the arteries in your body as highways. In your 30s, traffic flows smoothly, flexible roads, wide open lanes. But as the years pass, tiny cracks form, debris builds up, and the lanes narrow. Scientists call this endothelial dysfunction. What that means in plain English is simple. The lining of your blood vessels stops releasing enough nitric oxide, the very signal your arteries need to relax and open. Without it, blood flow slows down. And here's the kicker. The very first place men notice that slowdown is in their mornings because the arteries there are as thin as a human hair. When those narrow side streets clog, traffic halts immediately. And it's not just about intimacy, it's about energy, confidence, and how alive you feel when you wake up. If circulation is the first hidden thief, the second culprit might shock you even more because it's sitting on your breakfast table. Now let's talk about sugar. Most men think a little toast, a bowl of cereal, or a spoonful of sugar in their coffee is harmless, but chronically high glucose is like pouring acid on those delicate microvessels that supply your energy and vitality. The Mayo Clinic has shown how repeated spikes damage the endothelium, those tiny inner walls of your vessels. One of my patients, George, a 62-year-old retired engineer, thought low testosterone was his problem. But when we checked his labs, his morning blood sugar was sky high. The real issue wasn't hormones, it was sugar corrosion. And the fascinating part, within just weeks of cutting sugar from his coffee and adding one simple ingredient, his energy steadied. His mood lifted, and yes, his mornings returned. But sugar isn't the only silent hijacker. The next one is even trickier because It's not on your plate, it's already inside your body. Every morning, your body releases cortisol, the stress hormone, to help you wake up. That's normal. But if you're dehydrated, sleep deprived, or carrying decades of stress, cortisol shoots higher than it should. And here's the kicker. Cortisol doesn't just make you anxious, it directly suppresses testosterone production. So instead of waking up strong and refreshed, you wake up flat and tired. I've seen it in countless men. They blame their age when really it's a storm of stress chemistry hijacking their mornings. And the science is clear. Studies show elevated cortisol levels blunt the body's ability to produce testosterone, reduce nitric oxide, and weaken circulation. And as damaging as stress is, the final culprit is something almost every man shrugs off. Yet it builds up silently, year after year. Let's be real. Decades of grabbing coffee on the go, skipping breakfast, sitting for long hours, not drinking enough water, these small habits add up. You wouldn't expect your car to run smoothly on cheap gas and no oil changes, right? Yet, so many men treat their bodies exactly that way. And then they're shocked when circulation sputters, hormones flatline, and energy crashes by mid-morning. Here's the truth. It's not that your body is broken. It's that it's been underfueled and overstressed for years. But the silver lining is none of these factors are irreversible. With the right nutrients and small, consistent upgrades, your body can bounce back in ways that surprise you. And that's where the real turning point comes, because the solution isn't inexpensive prescriptions. It starts with something far simpler, something you're already drinking every single morning. Most men only think of cinnamon as something sprinkled on apple pie or holiday cookies, but real salon cinnamon, the kind you can buy at a good grocery store, is more than a spice. It's a shield. Research from the NIH shows cinnamon can lower fasting, blood sugar, and improve insulin sensitivity. That matters because when your blood sugar spikes, the smallest blood vessels in your body take the first hit. And those microvessels are the ones that deliver energy and intimacy. Cinnamon's polyphenols act like a protective coat, stabilizing those fragile pathways. One of my patients, a 58-year-old contractor, was used to hitting a 2 p.m. crash every single day. He thought it was just age catching up. But once he swapped sugar for a quarter teaspoon of cinnamon in his morning coffee, he told me, "Doc, it's like my afternoons came back to life." His energy was steady, his focus sharper, and the caffeine jitters he once felt disappeared. Here's the practical part. Add just 1/4 teaspoon of real Ceylon cinnamon to your coffee. It gives a warm, subtle flavor. It blends right in, and you don't need sugar anymore. That tiny change protects your vessels all day long. But while cinnamon defends your microvessels, it's not enough. Because to truly restore circulation, you need to switch on the body's own signal that tells arteries to open wide. And that's where the next ingredient shines. Unsweetened cocoa isn't just for baking, it's circulation rocket fuel. Cocoa is packed with flavonoids, especially epicatechin, which naturally increase nitric oxide production. Remember nitric oxide. It's the signal your arteries need to relax and let blood flow freely. After 50, your body makes less of it. That's why circulation slows down. But cocoa helps restore what age has taken away. The Cleveland Clinic has published multiple studies showing cocoa flavonoids improve endothelial function. That's the health of your artery walls. What does that mean in real life? Stronger circulation, better morning performance, sharper mental clarity. It's not just about feeling younger, but it's about your vessels actually behaving younger. Practical tip: stir 1 teaspoon of unsweetened cocoa powder into your coffee. No sugar, no guilt. It turns your regular cup into a rich mocha-like drink. One of my patients A 65-year-old accountant described it as coffee that feels like medicine but tastes like dessert. But while cocoa opens the highways, it doesn't solve the hormone piece, because energy and vitality aren't just about circulation, they're also about testosterone support. And that's where the next ingredient used for thousands of years in the Andes enters the story. Maca is a Peruvian root that has been called nature's vitality booster for centuries. Unlike quick fix pills, maca doesn't override your body, it supports it. It contains amino acids, zinc, and plant compounds that help the body maintain natural testosterone production, and men often describe its effect as a steady grounded energy that carries them through the day. One of my patients in his early 60s once told me, "Doc, after a few weeks of maca, I didn't just feel stronger. I felt more like myself again." His mood steadied, his focus improved, and his confidence returned. Clinical research backs this up. Studies have shown maca can improve stamina, libido, and energy balance without spiking hormones unnaturally. How to use it: add 1 teaspoon of maca powder to your coffee 3 or 4 times a week. It blends easily, giving a nutty, malty taste. Give it 2 to 3 weeks, and you may notice the difference not just in your mornings, but in your overall sense of vitality. But energy and hormones still need fuel. You can't build testosterone out of thin air, and that's why the next ingredient, a healthy fat you probably already have in your kitchen, can make or break your mornings. When I first tell men to put coconut oil in their coffee, they look at me like I've lost my mind. But coconut oil contains medium-chain triglycerides, or MCTs, which your body converts into clean, steady energy. Unlike sugar, which spikes and crashes, MCTs burn slowly and evenly. Even more important, testosterone is built from cholesterol and healthy fats. Without the right building blocks, your body struggles to produce this critical hormone. Coconut oil provides those raw materials, fueling both energy and hormone production. I remember a 64-year-old patient named Thomas. Every morning by 10 a.m., he was drained, foggy, and frustrated. He was skipping breakfast and relying on black coffee with sugar. When he switched to blending 1 teaspoon of coconut oil into his coffee, he told me, "Doc, I powered straight through until lunch for the first time in years." His focus sharpened, his stamina lasted, and his mood lifted. How to use it: start small with half a teaspoon. Blend it into your coffee with a frother. It turns creamy like a cafe latte. If your digestion feels heavy, adjust slowly until your body adapts. But circulation still needs one final push. And this last ingredient doesn't just open the pipes, it cleans them out and protects them for the long haul. Fresh or powdered ginger is one of the simplest yet most powerful upgrades you can add. Ginger contains compounds that naturally dilate blood vessels, reduce inflammation, and protect testicular function. Studies have shown regular ginger intake can improve testosterone levels and even sperm quality. For older men, it's like giving your vascular system a daily tune-up. Think of your blood vessels as pipes that slowly collect rust over decades. Ginger works like a gentle cleaner, scrubbing away the buildup and keeping those pipes smooth. It's not about a sudden jolt, it's about long-term protection. One of my patients, Robert, a 70-year-old veteran, added a thin slice of fresh ginger to his morning coffee. Within a month, he told me, "Doc, it's like my mornings came back online." He wasn't chasing youth, he was reclaiming capability. How to use it: add a 1/4 teaspoon of powdered ginger or a thin slice of fresh root. Powder offers consistent, long-term benefits, while fresh root gives an immediate kick of flavor and volatile oils. And when you put all 5 of these ingredients together, cinnamon, cocoa, masa, coconut oil, and ginger, you don't just have coffee. You have a daily ritual that supports circulation, hormones, and confidence from the inside out. Now that you know the 5 upgrades, the big question is, how do you actually use them without feeling overwhelmed? The key is simplicity. I always tell my patients, don't try to do everything at once. Layer it in one step at a time. Here's the routine I recommend. Week 1, add cinnamon. It's the easiest starting point and instantly stabilizes blood sugar. Week 2, stir in cocoa powder. Suddenly, your circulation has the nitric oxide support it's been craving. By week 3, rotate in maca powder 3 or 4 mornings a week. That's when you'll start noticing stamina and mood shifts. And by week 4, experiment with coconut oil or ginger, whichever feels most natural for you. Think of it as building a house. First, you lay the foundation with cinnamon and cocoa. Then you put up the walls with maca. Finally, you add the roof with coconut oil and ginger. Together, the structure holds strong. And here's my challenge to you. Tomorrow morning, don't drink your coffee the same way you did today. Pick just one of these upgrades and try it. Then leave a note in the comments telling me which one you chose and how it made you feel. Because once you experience the difference, even from a single ingredient, you'll understand why so many men never go back to plain coffee again. Gentlemen, let's step back for a moment and look at what we've uncovered together. We began by facing the hard truth that many men over 50 wake up feeling like something vital has quietly slipped away. And we learned that age alone isn't the thief. It's the decline in circulation, the damage from sugar spikes, the surge of stress hormones, and the buildup of years of overlooked habits. But the encouraging news is this: your body hasn't given up on you. With the right fuel, the right signals, and the right daily choices, it can rebuild, restore, and respond no matter your age. That's where your coffee comes in. Coffee by itself is just caffeine. It gives you a spark, but it doesn't fix the deeper problem. But when you upgrade that simple cup with everyday ingredient cinnamon to stabilize blood sugar cocoa, to boost nitric oxide maca, to support testosterone coconut oil, to fuel steady energy, and ginger to clean and open your vessels, you transform a habit into a healing ritual. Each one alone has benefits, but together they create a foundation for circulation, hormones, and confidence that can change the way you feel each morning. I've seen men in their late 50s, 60s, even 70s light up with renewed focus, strength, and intimacy simply by sticking with this simple routine. And I want the same for you, because this isn't about chasing youth. It's about reclaiming your ability to wake up strong, steady, and connected to yourself and to those you love. Here's my advice. Start small, but start tomorrow. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Add one ingredient to your coffee, notice how you feel, and build from there. Give your body the chance to show you what it's capable of when you give it the right support. And be patient. True change builds week by week, but the results last far longer than any quick fix. Now, before we close, let me speak to you directly. If this message spoke to you, if you found even one insight today that gives you hope or direction, don't let it end here. Tap that like button. It tells me these conversations matter to you. Hit subscribe and turn on the bell icon, because I share new strategies and practical solutions every week designed specifically to help men over 50 protect their health and rebuild their vitality naturally. And in the comments, I want to hear from you. Which one of these 5 ingredients will you try first in your coffee? Your response might inspire another man out there who needs this just as much as you. Remember, your best years aren't behind you. They can begin again each morning with the choices you make and the care you give yourself. Stay consistent, stay strong, and stay hopeful. And I'll be right here to guide you one small step at a time.